Here is something no one warned you about. The hairstyle sitting on your head right now could be adding 10 years to your face. Not because of your age. Not because of your bone structure. Not because of the gray. But because of the cut itself. And the frustrating part? Most women over 60 are walking around with one of the 3 most aging haircuts on the planet, and their stylist never said a word. But here is what is even more interesting. The women you see and think, wow, she looks incredible for her age, 9 times out of 10 it is not the color, it is not the skincare, it is not even the clothes. It is the haircut. Just the cut. That is the secret no one is talking about. So today, I am going to show you exactly which 3 haircuts are quietly taking years off your face, and which 3 are doing the complete opposite without you even realizing it. And I promise you, by the time this video is over, you are going to look at your own hair very differently. Stay with me until the end because the last aging haircut I reveal is the one most women think is elegant. It is not. And I think that one is going to surprise you the most. Now, welcome back to Timeless Style After 60, the channel that is always in your corner, reminding you that your best style years are not behind you. They are right now. If you are new here, oh, I am so glad you found us. This is your safe space for honest, practical, and genuinely helpful style advice, made specifically for women who are living fully and want to look every bit of it. Whether you have been here from the very beginning or this is the very first video of ours you are watching, I want you to know you belong here. Now, before we dive in, can I ask a small favor? If you have ever watched one of our videos and walked away feeling a little more confident, a little more seen, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It is free, it takes 2 seconds, and it means you will never miss a tip that could genuinely change the way you feel about yourself when you walk out the door. And while you are at it, tap the like button. It truly helps more women just like you find this channel, and honestly, it means the world to this little community we are building together. Alright, let us get into it. Because your hair? We are about to change everything. Let us start with the good news first. Because I always believe in leaving you with something to feel excited about. And today that excitement starts right here. Part 1. The 3 haircuts that take years off your face. White heavy check mark haircut number 1. The soft layered bob. Now I want you to picture something for a moment. Not the stiff, helmet-shaped bob your mother may have worn. Not the overly polished, rigid cut that sits completely still even in the wind. I am talking about something completely different. I am talking about a bob with movement. A bob with softness built right into it. A bob that actually works with your face instead of sitting on top of it. This is what we call the soft layered bob. And it is quietly one of the most powerful anti-aging haircuts in existence for women over 60. Here is why it works so beautifully. As we get older, our face naturally loses a little volume in certain areas. The cheeks shift slightly. The jawline softens. And what a lot of women do not realize is that a harsh, blunt haircut actually draws attention to every single one of those changes. It highlights them, frames them front and center. But soft layers? They do the opposite. They create the illusion of fullness right where you need it most. Around the cheekbones. Along the jawline. Near the temples. The layers catch the light differently. They bounce. They move. And movement, darling, is youth. The ideal length for this cut sits somewhere between the chin and the collarbone. Not too short that it loses its softness. Not too long that it pulls the face downward. That sweet spot in the middle is where the magic lives. And here is my favorite thing about this haircut. It works on almost every face shape. Round, oval, square, heart shape. The soft layers adjust beautifully to whatever you are working with. When you go to your stylist, here is exactly what to say. Ask for a bob with soft, face-framing layers. Tell them you want movement, not structure. And ask them to keep the layers longer rather than choppy. That one instruction alone will make a significant difference in how the final result looks on you. White heavy check mark haircut number 2. The textured pixie with length on top. Now, before you scroll past this one or think it is not for you, I need you to hear me out. Because this is not the pixie cut of the 1960s. This is not the severe, close-cropped, masculine-looking cut that a lot of women are afraid of. This is something entirely different. And once I explain it, I think you are going to see it in a completely new light. The textured pixie with length on top keeps the sides and back neat and close. But the top? The top has length. It has texture. It has life. And that length on top is the entire secret to why this cut is so incredibly flattering for women over 60. Here is the science behind it in the simplest way possible. When there is volume and height on the top of your head, your eye naturally travels upward. And when the eye travels upward, the whole face reads as lifted, more awake, more refreshed. It is one of the oldest visual tricks in fashion, and the right haircut applies it automatically every single day, without you doing a single thing. For women who have fine or thinning hair, this cut is genuinely life-changing. Because close sides with textured volume on top creates the appearance of much fuller, thicker hair than you may actually have. It is not about pretending. It is about working with what you have in the most intelligent way possible. Now the word textured is important here. Texture means the ends are not all cut to one uniform length. They are slightly varied, slightly piecewise, and that variation is what gives the cut its dimension and its youthful energy. Ask your stylist for a pixie with kept length on top, disconnected slightly from the sides, with textured ends. That is the exact language that will get you what you are looking for. White heavy checkmark haircut number 3. The long shag with face framing layers. I saved this one for number 3 because it tends to surprise people the most. When most women think of longer hair after 60, they either feel nervous about it or they assume long hair is somehow less appropriate at this stage of life. I am here to tell you that is completely false. Long hair after 60 is not only appropriate. Done correctly, it is stunning. The key word is done correctly. And the long shag with face framing layers is the definition of done correctly. A shag is a layered haircut with layers that start quite high, sometimes from the crown, and cascade all the way down. The layers are not uniform. They are varied in length, which creates incredible texture and movement throughout the entire head of hair. And the face framing pieces are the finishing touch that makes everything come together. Those face framing pieces work like a spotlight for your best features. They draw the eye toward your eyes, your cheekbones, your smile. And they soften everything around the lower part of the face in the most natural, effortless way. This cut also solves one of the most common complaints I hear from women with longer hair, which is that it looks flat, heavy, or shapeless. The shag eliminates all of that. The layers lift. The texture breathes. The whole thing feels light and intentional instead of heavy and forgotten. For those of you with wavy or naturally textured hair, this cut will work with your natural pattern in a way that makes getting ready in the morning feel almost effortless. Ask for a long shag with curtain bangs or face framing layers, and make sure your stylist knows you want the layers to start from the crown. That detail is what separates a proper shag from just a layered cut. Alright, now we are stepping into the other side of this conversation. And I say this with full love and zero judgment, because most of us have worn at least one of these cuts at some point. I know I have. But the truth matters. And the truth is, these next 3 haircuts are not doing you any favors. Part 2. The 3 haircuts that are aging your face. Crossmark haircut number 1. The overly short cropped cut with no texture. There is a version of the short cut that works beautifully after 60. We just talked about it. The Textured Pixie is a masterpiece when done right. But then there is this version. The overly short, cropped cut that hugs the head with no texture, no movement, and no variation whatsoever. And this cut, as tidy and low maintenance as it feels, is one of the most aging things a woman can do to her appearance. Here is why. When the hair is cut so short and so uniformly that it lies completely flat against the head, it removes all softness from around the face. Every angle of the face becomes more pronounced. Every line becomes more visible. The shape of the head itself becomes the focal point, and for most face shapes, that is not a flattering result. There is also the issue of proportion. Very short hair with no volume can sometimes make the head look smaller in relation to the body, which actually makes the whole figure look heavier. It is a proportion trick working in the wrong direction. The fix is simple. It is not about growing the hair out. It is just about asking your stylist to add texture. Even the tiniest bit of piece-wide texture at the ends completely transforms this cut from aging to ageless. Crossmark haircut number 2. The pin straight, all one length long hair. This one is the surprise I promised you at the beginning. Because this cut feels elegant, feels classic. And a lot of women hold on to it for exactly those reasons. But here is what is actually happening. Pin straight, all one length long hair with no layers, no texture, no movement, hangs like a curtain on either side of the face. And instead of framing the face, it drags the eye downward. Straight down. And when the eye travels downward, everything reads as lower, heavier, more drooping. For women over 60, whose facial structure has naturally shifted slightly over the decades, this downward visual pull is the last thing you want. You want the eye going up, toward your eyes, toward your cheekbones, upward and inward, not downward and outward. There is also the issue of flat hair adding no contrast to the face. Layers create shadow and dimension. One-length hair creates none of that. And without that contrast, the face can look flatter and more tired than it actually is. The good news is that this is the easiest fix of all three. You do not need to cut off the length. You just need layers. A few well-placed layers and some face-framing pieces will completely transform this cut and take years off your appearance without sacrificing the length you love. Crossmark haircut number 3. The stiff, overstructured blunt bob. And here we are at the third one, the blunt bob. Now, a bob in itself is not the enemy. We already established that. The soft layer bob is one of our top 3 most flattering cuts. But the blunt bob, particularly when it is cut very precisely to one length with sharp, clean edges all the way around, that one is a different story entirely. The problem with extreme structure in a haircut after 60 is that structure emphasizes contrast. And the contrast between a very sharp, rigid hairline and the natural softness of mature skin actually draws more attention to the skin, not less. It also tends to make the jaw area look more prominent, which for most face shapes creates a heavier, square appearance than is actually there. And when the blunt bob is worn very stiff with a lot of product holding every hair in perfect place, it reads as outdated rather than polished. There is a stiffness to it that, ironically, ages the overall look in a way that looser, more natural styles simply do not. Again, the fix does not require a completely new haircut. Ask your stylist to soften the perimeter, to point cut the ends rather than blunt cut them. That one technical change alone will shift the entire energy of the cut from rigid to relaxed, and from aging to effortlessly chic. Before we wrap up, I want to pause here for just a second. If you are finding this helpful, if you are taking mental notes or maybe even thinking about booking that hair appointment, can you do something for me right now? Hit that like button right now while you are thinking about it. It takes 1 second and it genuinely helps this video reach more women who need to hear exactly what we are talking about today. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We post new videos regularly, all focused on helping women over 60 dress well, feel confident, and look absolutely incredible without spending a fortune. Hit subscribe and the little bell so you never miss a thing. I also want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these haircuts are you currently wearing? Or is there a style you have been curious about but have not tried yet? I read every single comment and I love hearing from this community. So please come talk to me down below. Now here is the thing I really want you to take away from today beyond just the names of the cuts and which ones to avoid. Your hair is not just hair. It is the first thing people notice. It is the frame of your entire face. And more than that, it is the thing you see every single morning when you look in the mirror. And what you see in that mirror sets the tone for your entire day. Women over 60 are told constantly, in ways both subtle and not so subtle, to shrink, to disappear, to stop caring so much about how they look because somehow the caring itself is supposed to stop at a certain age. And I think that is one of the most unhelpful messages our culture has ever sent to women. You deserve to feel incredible, not in spite of your age, not regardless of your age, because of everything your age represents, the experience, the wisdom, the knowing exactly who you are, and what you are no longer willing to settle for. The right haircut is not vanity. It is not frivolous. It is a tool. A quiet, powerful tool that shifts how you feel before you even leave the house. And you deserve to use every tool available to you. So if today's video gave you even one thing to bring to your next salon appointment, one question to ask, one cut to try, one to walk away from, then this was worth every minute of your time. And mine. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Truly, this community means more than I can say, and every single one of you who shows up, watches, comments, and shares these videos is the reason this channel exists. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend who might need to hear this. You might just save her from her next bad haircut. And that is genuinely one of the kindest things you can do for someone. And before you go, check out the video right there on your screen. It goes perfectly with what we talked about today, and I think you are going to love it. Until next time, take good care of yourself, because you are absolutely worth it.